Good morning, good people, and welcome to the PooleProof Wisdom Podcast Conversations. Fitness, desired, elusive, celebrated. My own personal journey dealing with weight, wellness, and feeling and looking good is decades old. It's a narrative true for millions of Americans. But as a black man, there are certain physiological benefits that are linked to my race. Some people tell me I should be able to run fast. I don't know that that's true. But there are also a lot of issues, too. My family history is fraught with early death. No one, aside from my grandparents, and now me, lived beyond the age of 55. Ailments like diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, and a host of other illnesses plague blacks disproportionately. There are numerous reasons for this, from diet and resulting obesity to income to systemic issues with access to health care to a lack of awareness and education about health. Black Americans are more likely to suffer from disease and general poor health than most Americans, particularly when it comes to risk factors for cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Being in the battle for years to try to outlive my family history and lessen, if not eliminate, my own health risks, I've educated myself and worked to protect and preserve my overall health, succeeding more than I fail, but still, failing sometimes I do. That's how it is for everyone. But given the uphill battle I face, I accepted long ago that I can't take for granted the responsibility I have for staying in the fight without pause, without excuses, without giving myself a break. About a year ago, I came across a page while browsing Instagram called Blackfitness. And what impressed me most was how the page provided a great deal of information about exercising and fitness that I could readily use and shared content from what seemed thousands of people who looked like me, sharing their challenges, frustrations, and successes on health and fitness journeys of their own. Not just physical fitness, mind you, but mental and spiritual fitness as well. There's no body shaming when you're part of Black Fitness. People let it all hang out because we accept that what we're all trying to do is hard, often thankless, and ultimately worth it. Most recently, I saw a woman who'd survived cancer and had both breasts removed, posing with her boxing gloves on, shirtless, proudly displaying her scars and asserting her power over the disease and her future health. The stories of everyone in this space, from the most fit to the newbie who can barely do a single push up, are compelling and very, very personal. So today, I wanted to get behind the page and learn how it came to be and why it continues to inspire and encourage everyone. Kevin Morris, a Newark, New Jersey personal trainer and owner of Black Fitness, is a visionary, I believe. I don't think he actually imagined that creating a page in 2015 focused on Black people pursuing health would become what it has, which is a page that reaches more than 240,000 Instagram followers and receives approximately 1.5 million views weekly. So, today, good people, it's all about health, wellness, and fitness, about how a dedication to personal fitness blossomed into a source of fitness inspiration and a growing fitness business. Good morning, Kevin, and welcome to the Poolproof Wisdom Podcast. How are you?
I'm doing well, and y'all.
No, not too bad. You probably have already done what, 2 or 3 workouts already this morning?
No, today's my rest day. I gave myself a break. I'm tired.
Really?
Yeah, working out, training, it overwhelms you. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I give myself a Saturday off.
Yeah, I give you that. I give you that. So, Kevin, the reason that you and I are speaking is I discovered Black Fitness on Instagram about a year ago. It's fascinating to me. I obviously have work to do. I have been doing a lot of work pretty much all my life. It's the story of a lot of people, right? You have to constantly work at it. And it wasn't just because it was people working out and you were behind all of this, somewhat like the great wizard of fitness, Oz, making it happen. But it was more about the fact that these people had stories and somehow they came to this I'll almost call it a sacred space where they would share those stories. So before we get into how you got there, let's start a little bit with your background as a personal trainer, how you got into that particular work, and why, given that work, you somehow transitioned into creating Black Fitness.
So I was a former athlete. I used to play basketball in college. I was in community college, for Essex County College. I got hurt, so I started with the physical trainer. I started learning about the anatomy. So he told me that I had to work on my stability and start lifting weights more to take away all the injuries, so I don't have to get injured a lot. So I started learning about fitness. So when I started going to school gym, I started working out more, get into the fitness. Then a lot of people come up to me like, "Hey, can you help me work out my abs, or I want to work on my arms." So I just had that. Everybody just come up to me like, "Oh, can you help me doing this?" So I just said, "Okay, maybe I should become a personal trainer." And I asked the trainer, "Hey, can you teach me certain things about training?" So he told me a private course that the school was taking or having, and I started taking it. So I started becoming a trainer. I worked for a gym for about 6 months. Couldn't do it. Can't stand working for somebody. So I went
Hmm.
independent. Then that's how I became a trainer. So
Hmm.
then when I created Black Fitness, I came behind this lady. I was about behind her, but she influenced me because she had a page called Ebony Fitness. And I used to ask her, why you didn't call it Black Fitness? It sounds more powerful,
Hmm.
straight to the point.
Hmm.
And I said, let me see, I could just create this page. And I just created uh and just left it there.
Hmm.
Didn't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
And since 2005, 2015, it just blew up. It just
Hmm.
like everybody just say, "Oh, I like this. This is powerful. This is something we could look for ourselves." Like, "Oh, I see somebody that looks like me, tell a story, they testimony, or I see a trainer that might be in my area that I could use,
Hmm.
or a instructor that I could enjoy using." So
Hmm.
that's why I started using Black Fitness, and it all because of this Trayvon Martin that helps me like to say I need to create something that show us.
Hmm.
That's the more important thing.
Hmm.
Yes, we see other trainers that's not black, but we still want somebody that represent us in a different way. Like we look at Obama. We as a young black man, we see Obama. That makes me want to become a politician or become a
Hmm.
president, the next president as well. So
Hmm.
same thing. When I'm looking at Black Fitness, I want to be the next uh Tabo or any sorts of people. So
Hmm.
that's why.
So your retort to people who would, of course, have an issue with the fact that it's called Black Fitness is
Oh,
that
all
you
the time,
you get it all the time. And
all the
what
time.
do you say to them specifically?
I don't say nothing. It's you don't I don't I grew up to ignore ignorance.
Hmm.
So you can't get ignorant with ignorance. Sometimes it's hard not to, but I just like I don't see that person. I don't know who this person is. I don't see
Hmm.
what they look like.
Hmm.
So social media anybody could be behind that
Sure.
phone. So I
Hmm.
just don't reply to it.
Hmm.
But thank God I have followers that will do it for me.
You've
So
got
they
your
would attack that person.
you've got your own hive, so to speak.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Yes.
I gotcha. So, Kevin, let's talk about the aspects of fitness. We know that, and what I'll say very honestly is that the number of health issues that are represented by members of the Black community are legion. I mean, we talk about stroke, we talk about high blood pressure, cancer, heart disease. You can go on and on and on. And when we're talking about fitness, that's one construct, right? We think of it in the physical capacity. But the overall goal to be well is what comes out of this. As you are going about what you do in terms of reaching your clients directly, and then what Black Fitness, the page, does in terms of sharing the messaging and the importance of this, why do you think that this is a way to fight against that type of disease within the community?
Um, that's a good question. Reputation, like people, in some reasons, people like to see image.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody see a great body,
Mm-hmm.
with someone with that great body, give them the reason why they have this great body.
Mm-hmm.
So when you telling somebody, okay, if it's the only way I could deflect having diabetes, stroke, and all this. This is the way how to do it. Everybody don't have a great body. It's nothing as a perfect body. But when you could tell somebody that's actually take care of themselves, you could tell the color of their skin, you could tell the way they carry themselves, their posture of their body. You could tell they taking care of themselves. So certain food, nutrition you take, it will show in your body. Like I always tell my clients, the only reason when you see somebody that's big and dark because it's the blood flow is not it's toxic.
Mm.
So once you see somebody that's getting their skin, they lose weight, and you see their skin getting lighter, you see the aura of they self is different. That's the only way you could get people to, to combat different diseases. Because I'm sorry, even though it's sad, but people got to see image, so they got to see the transformation. They got to see certain things to keep their body healthy.
Hmm. So when people, of course, are seeing the great bodies, I mean, that's what a lot of people are, of course, turned on by, right? They're like, oh, I want to look like that. But what about the work? Because we know that there is a very, very big distance between people seeing someone that they aspire to look like and then the work that's involved. Talk to me about not only the physical training, but the things like nutrition and mental wellness and emotional wellness, and how, as a trainer, you go into that, helping them realize that it's a full package effect. It's not one thing or two things that you need to do, but you need to do all of it.
Yes, I always tell my clients, I don't give a dream. I don't give pipe dreams. I give you what it is. If
Mm-hmm.
this is just going to happen, you're not going to lose 30 pounds in 1 month.
Mm.
There's no way. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what these 30-day challenge, all these people say you're not going to lose that much weight.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look in a longevity. You got to make this as a lifestyle, not just a birthday or vacation thing.
Right, right.
So once I tell people, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna look at the scale. We're gonna look at your clothes. If your clothes getting bigger, that let you know I'm losing more weight. I'm losing
Mm-hmm.
inches.
Mm-hmm.
But also you got to prepare yourself to be more consistent. You just can't have a cheat day once or twice a month. You
Mm.
gotta have that one. You gotta have a longevity of 3 months of no eating whatever that you should not be eating, candy, cake, or whatever source of desserts that everybody loves to have. Got to stop drinking liquor. That's
Mm.
like the biggest thing. Most of my clients, I train in New York. People doing before the pandemic is events. Oh, I gotta go to these events. There's going to be a lot of wine. There's going to be a lot of alcohol. You gotta prepare your mind to do it. And once you got people that's in the like, I got one client work for Discovery. Mentally, sometimes she's not there when she come to training because of work. So it's hard to you gotta as a trainers gotta be uplifting. Oh, come on, you gotta do this, you could do this, because that could push them even more. Because sometimes when you work by yourself,
Mm.
you won't push yourself like somebody else pushing yourself.
Right,
So
right.
yes, mentally it takes a lot, because it is when it comes to fitness, you like, okay, I did this for a whole month straight, but I don't see no results that I really want. So you gotta
Mm.
mentally keep telling them like, okay, you got to keep going. It's just you guys call it's patience. It's not a microwave, it's a stove. So you gotta be patient with what you're doing. So
I like that. It's a microwave, not a microwave, it's a stove. That's good.
yeah.
That's good.
So you gotta keep motivating people. That's what trainers is like cheerleaders. We gotta keep motivating, keep going,
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, you're there. Next thing you see yourself squatting 135 to 225.
Mm.
That show you results of what you're doing. To see the hard working you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see that. Now you're gonna keep going. Now this become an addiction. I always tell if I'm supposed to train somebody at least a year, then I want you to leave me alone so
Mm.
you could train yourself and train others.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got the mindset I gave you, the teaching. Okay, this is what Kevin used to tell me. Okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, I need to push myself. They can still come to me, still training, but you should be doing this on your own now. Now I teach you how to take care of yourself, the nutrition, the proper way to squat, the proper way to push up, the proper way of bench pressing. You should know how to do this now. So
Mm-hmm.
mentally, I teach people how to do it, because sometimes people go through stuff.
Sure.
And
Speaking of people going through things, one of the challenges, and trust me, I know because I've had a lot of trainers over the years, but sometimes you come across someone, you've been an athlete, I would assume from your conversation, most of your life, you don't look like someone who understands the struggles of someone who has not been an athlete, who has gone through something physical which has kept them from having the body and the overall health they want. How do you push through with someone who is your client and you're trying to give them that information, that advice, that knowledge, and their response to you is, you can't possibly know what I'm going through because look at you. You have no idea. What's your response to that?
I mentally try to be in their shoes.
Mm,
I try to see what they going through, or I could watch, experience how they feel, how they think,
mm,
because I can't, because I always been fit all my life. But when I see somebody that going through stuff, of course you have somebody in your family that's not in shape.
Right.
You know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know mentally how they prepare themselves, or they just give up so fast.
Right.
They like, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not gonna, just forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know the feeling. I know, like, okay, me, I always trying to gain weight all my life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pass 180, save my life. I always tell people, I'm trying to gain weight. You can give me your fat if you want to,
Uh-huh.
but it's not that hard. It's,
Right.
it's I'm going through something too, but losing weight is harder because it's mentally draining.
Yeah.
It's mentally taking away your passion, your goal, your motivation. You aspire because you one minute you aspire is like a firecracker. That fire go away real fast.
Right. Right.
So
And that's interesting to me that you said that, because the idea of gaining weight is something that a lot of people don't consider a struggle when people can't do it. So that is something that rings very positively with me, because you're making the point that even if the one person you're dealing with, their challenge, their struggle is with losing weight, you've got something going on too that you can share with them that they may not even assume is a problem, right?
yep.
Right.
So yeah, 'cause gaining weight is hard. I tell people, I try to gaining muscle mass for me is hard because
Mhm.
it's a constant. I gotta keep eating amount of protein, amount of carbs. It might sound crazy, but it's like I'm trying. That's my goal. I want to be 180.
Yeah.
I'm only 170.
Well, for
So I'm
those of us who, of course, we're like, no, it's not. You're talking about gaining muscle. Yeah, you're saying gaining muscle. That's the difference. Because
muscle,
for
yes.
those of us who say that if we just walk past the refrigerator, we gain weight, that's a different story, right? So those distinctions are important. You're actually talking about gaining lean muscle mass. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Kevin, I want to ask this question too, because people have gotten to a point where we're in an age that people don't want to work for it, right? They want to go and get, and I will say, because I know I'm probably going to get popped back on this, they want to go to the plastic surgeon and get the body that they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep going because they keep wanting to keep up with a certain trend. It makes me wonder, I remember once I went to a trainer, and I was telling him, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm trying to achieve, and he was one of those big old guys, right? And his first response was, "We're gonna get you so ripped." And I was like, dude, I've never been ripped. I'm just trying to keep everything in its damn place. This is not what I'm going for. Did you just hear anything I said? So, in this age where everybody think that everyone perhaps wants the same thing, how do you individualize your planning for each person so that they are able to get their best body? It may not be ripped, it may not look like whatever celebrity that they're trying to look like, but it will be their best body. How do you do that, and how do you reinforce that that is their goal?
Whatever your image is, whatever you want to look like. It's
Mhm.
not what I could think of. You tell me I want to tone up, I'm gonna tone up whatever body you want to tone up to.
Mhm.
It's up to you. Whatever mirror you're looking at, and if you see what you want to look like,
Mhm.
that's what you want.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna tell people you get ripped. Like,
Mhm.
everybody body mass is not the same.
Mhm.
Everybody type is not the same.
Right. Right.
One person can't be ripped. I'm ripped.
Mhm.
That's because of genetic.
Right. Right.
Some people can't,
Mhm.
but somebody could be solid, muscular, could keep their body in shape. Yeah, you can look at football players. A lot of football players are ripped, and a lot of football players are not.
Right.
But the people that's not could be most athletic than people that's more ripped.
Mm.
So you
Mm.
gotta look at what body type you want to be, and
Mhm.
whatever body type you are. So you say, okay, I just want to be fit.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure I could stop wearing a belt that can only use one hole. Like, I want to be happy with my body weight. I want to able to, if you have kids, I want to able to run with my son or my daughter.
Right.
I
Right.
want to be able to, when I get off the chair, I don't have to make a grunt noise.
Mm.
Like, I want to be able to be fit.
Mhm.
Sometimes when people look at image, sometimes that image is not realistic.
Right.
And that's
Right.
when, like you said, the plastic surgery. I always tell female potential clients, I'm not Dr. Miami.
Mm.
I'm not gonna give you that type of body you looking for.
Right.
Whatever your body allows you to be, that's what you're going to be.
Mhm. Mhm. That's important to, I think, keep in mind, because my gosh, the things that people want. I had a moment, and well, I guess I'll say, I mean, I've been significantly larger, Kevin. I had a point where I had a waist that was 48 inches. And that didn't resonate saying 48 inches. What resonated was saying, my waist is 4 feet. It's 4 feet, almost as tall as some humans. And
Yeah.
you can't get your mind around it. So, those ideas about what is really representative of trying to be your best comes with, I think, a need to accept where you've been and where you are, and then practically
Mhm.
acknowledging where you want to be. So it's now June, what is it, the 12th today. And after a pandemic and being locked up for a year, people are back to their, oh my gosh, I want to get my summer body. I want to get my beach body. And you had mentioned earlier, oh, in 30 days, I want to drop 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And do you even take on a client who has that kind of perspective?
No.
No, no.
Always ask a client. Oh, like what I learned in school, you supposed to ask them, what is your reason to hire a trainer? What is your reason to lose a weight or get fit?
Hmm.
Some people say, I want to do it for my birthday. So you just a temporary client.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can have a permanent client.
Right.
I don't like I can't accept a temporary client because that's business wise, that's not helping me.
Sure.
If you want to do that, it's a group class you can take that's cheaper and faster. So I can't accept that. I told my girlfriend last time. I said if I'm the type of trainers that like to put a dream out there, you know how many clients I would have right now?
Sure.
But I have morals. I'm not gonna lie to a person for the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing, they looking at me like you just stole my money. It's something you're not able to do.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you
I couldn't
heard,
handle
yeah. So the listeners are going to hear that if your trainer is telling you that he's going to take you on for a temporary assignment, that's exactly what you are, and you're not going to have long term results, right?
it. Yeah.
So speaking about the business, it's been a pandemic, right? For personal trainers who, of course, work out with people, how has that been for you, given 2020 and where we are so far through 2021 in terms of your business? Because you still continue to do the uploads and the Black Fitness things. I know that you do a lot of work with people still, but tell me what that was like for you doing what you do in the course of a pandemic.
Well, me, I took a whole year off during the pandemic.
Oh.
I stopped training. All my clients moved to another state, so I just took a whole year break.
Mm-hmm.
And I just and I'm young, but I was in my old ways. I'm not training nobody no virtual. It's not the same. It's not the same. Hey, do this,
Right.
but 10 seconds later, like, oh, what you say again?
Uh,
Oh, like I don't want to deal with that. I
yeah.
didn't want to even try it. So I just step away from it. But me talking to other trainers, it been booming.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them made more money doing Zoom or virtual training than
Mm-hmm.
in person because they stayed their home. They could set more clients. They could have at least 10 clients a day if they want to. When you can't do that in person,
Mm-hmm.
you could do a group class or whatever. So I know a lot of them did well. For me, I just promote different trainers to help their business. I was like actually being marketing. I was just marketing their business to
Mm-hmm.
bring more clients, to bring more followers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much that was it for me.
And are you back in it today, full?
Well, back to training. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
back to training. I just started last month actually.
Mm-hmm. And how's that going? Because I imagine people coming out of all of this, what do they call it? Quarantine weight, pandemic weight. A lot of people want to get back at it. How have you found the client list growing as a result?
Um, to me, it's like me starting over again. Like I started training when I started first training again because
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting over. A lot of my like I said, my clients, a lot of moved. They moved to
Mm-hmm.
California. A lot moved to Atlanta. So it was just like, okay, now I got to start over, find
Mm-hmm.
some new clients.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like starting over all over again, but it's good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I have the right clients. I'm actually happy to get clientele that I really want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
Well, if you were in LA, I'd hire you in a split second. So just saying. Um, I want to talk now about Black Fitness more directly.
Mhm.
you can look on there and there are people who look like you, and then there are people who, are halfway there through their journey. There are some people who are just beginning. Some people are terrifically obese and can barely do anything, but they're all on there sharing their stories. There's a sense of community about it. As a
Mhm.
trainer who focuses on, the body, how does the work that you see happening in that space influence you as it relates to making sure that it remains a platform for people to continue to build on that sense of community?
Um, so you actually do like this one girl. She I forgot her name. I think it's Sheila. I like posting her
Mhm.
because she's big. So you see the story. So when it comes to social media, you don't know the person, but you see the person's story.
Mhm.
So when I post her, she's already obese and she's a miss. She's
Mhm.
obese. She
Mhm.
she was in depression, so she gained so much weight. But now she focused on her health and her life.
Right.
So I always post her doing workout, doing hip exercises, pushing herself.
Mhm.
So I love posting that. People think I post this post somebody that's already
Right.
in shape. No,
Mhm.
I want everybody to see the struggle. I want everybody to see the beginning of what they do. I want everybody Genesis to show the revelation.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I want everybody to. That's what Black Fitness for to motivate you because it's about somebody that you see that reminds you of yourself.
Mhm.
So somebody that's obese, looking at somebody that's obese working out, that will motivate them to like, hey, he or she is helping me to go through this. So
Right.
if she could do it, I could do it. So
Can I
that's
get
why
a
Black Fitness is there for.
Yeah, Kevin, can I get a cosign on the idea that when you are going through something where you're just trying to get your health and body back, that you're not wrapped up in labels? You use the word obese, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, she's body shaming someone. People who are going through it, let me speak as one who has been in all levels of weight over my lifetime. And the last thing I was worried about is whether someone used the word obese to describe me. I'm too busy trying to eat right, exercise, and get my shit together, right?
Yeah.
So in that space, you're not there to be concerned with what people's perspectives are about weight and the labels that apply to it. What instead you're trying to do is exactly what you are describing to me, which is to give people a forum where they can say, this is what it's like. Take a look and learn something from me because I'm doing it. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
Yes, yes, yes. That's the best way to look at it because anybody, I always tell people, I started playing basketball because I saw Kobe and Jordan. So I
Hmm.
started shooting like them. I
Hmm.
started acting like them.
Hmm.
So that's the image that I wanted to strive for. I
Hmm.
ain't happened. Never been in NBA, but still, I
Hmm.
still push myself to get a scholar, basketball scholarship.
Hmm.
So when somebody is short, big,
Hmm.
tall,
Right.
you see an image of yourself that will motivate you to do it.
That's right.
I, I I don't know. I didn't know that obese is so political.
Everything is a word today. You can't
So
call
so
anybody
they say
what.
obese is a body shame thing now.
Well, give people an inch, right? If you use the word obese, well, that's body shaming. You know, I'm not a big fan of labels because labels are what people use to lazily get away from actually describing what's truly happening. So I don't pay
Mhm.
a lot of attention to it. Another phrase that I particularly don't like is body positivity. I'm like, good. Well, let me not say that. It's kind of ridiculous. It really is.
To be honest, I don't even know what they even mean, but okay.
That's
But
okay.
it's so much labels, like you said. I can't keep up.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So
I feel like I'm in school again.
yeah, well, don't go back to school. You don't want to learn those words. They're bad words. But I do think that what we are looking at is a opportunity here. I was looking as I was preparing for this, and I described at the outset of my introduction of you, there was a young woman who had a double mastectomy, who survived breast cancer, had her shirt off, had her boxing gloves on, and was talking about how she not only kicked cancer's ass, but how she was going to fight to keep her health going forward. I will tell you there are many instances, and I don't know if you get this a lot from people, but I'll admit it here. When I'll go through and I'll look at those videos, and there are some that bring me to tears. There are some that make me laugh because people are bringing a different perspective to it. But what it does is to remind me is that, much like the late Dr. Maya Angelou said, is that we are all more alike than we are unalike.
Mm.
And when you're going through deciding what you're going to add to it, what are the effects that these stories, these admissions, these overcoming of challenges that you see, what effect do they have on you when you're selecting them? Because I can't imagine that they're any less emotional for you than they would be for someone like me who's watching them.
I sometimes I look at some people submit stuff to me or I explore. I use Instagram Explore, and I see some of the Instagram Explorer shows me stories of some people. So I just read the caption, like the latest one you talked about, the lady with the breast cancer. It's a lot of people that does what she do, but I like what her caption said.
Right.
I'm going to help fix my health.
There you go.
That's the main thing I love about it, because some people would just beat cancer and still go by doing unhealthy things. That you should be becoming more healthiest person in there, because the cancer could come back anytime. It's just not a one-stop thing. It could come back anytime. So I like how she just motivate herself. Also, this guy, he had shot and he lost he was paralyzed underneath his he lost his feeling in his leg, so he couldn't walk. So he didn't walk in 7 years. Now he's able to stand up and take little by little steps. That's motivating. So I like to when I see stuff like that, yes, I like to make people I ain't gonna say sad, but emotional.
Sure.
Make them laugh, and I like to uplift them, because that's the most important thing for to have somebody a healthy mental life. Because when you have them 3 things, yes, your life will go ease instead of being depressed, instead of being sad all the time. But now you have something like I can relate, or this story, this pushed me to become a better person, a better human being, a healthy person. So yes, I love stuff like that, because I posted like, this person's really pushing themselves. Like they could just say forget it, but no, they say I want to better my life and better my health.
Are you the only arbiter of what shows up on the page? Because there's a lot of content. Are you doing this by yourself or do you have help?
I'll do it by myself.
This is a lot of work.
A whole lot. People don't understand that. People don't understand. They say, "Oh, you just posted Insta." I said, "No, I'm doing way more than that."
Right.
If you my DMs and my EMs, my emails, you be like, "Oh, okay, it's a much."
Yeah, because that's the thing about it. You're constantly putting up fresh content. I forgot how many posts there were, but is there over 1 million? It's a lot.
No.
It seems like it's 1 million.
100, I think. 1,600.
60. Yeah, that's still a lot. That's a lot. Yeah,
and I delete a lot, so that's a lot.
Yeah. So when you've gone through this journey from things that you know inherently as a trainer, plus what you've learned from the people that you've posted, so many different compelling stories, so many different ways of looking at things, so many ideas about how to eat, how to exercise, how to grow spiritually, how to grow emotionally. What are the things you would say are your primary takeaways that you've learned since 2015 about fitness, wellness, and just a sense of overall health? How would you characterize that? I love that. It's a good question. You're thinking about it.
Yeah, I am. That's a good question. What I learned all my years of training, fitness. That's a good question. I it got to be the mental, because physical, it was no problem with me. When you start and getting closer to your clients, you see the stuff that you would never thought of, but do you hear about it? Because I always joke about trainers should become psychologists, because people don't realize the clients open up to you about their job, their life, their personal life. It's just like I had one client, she was going through a battle with her daughter's father. Like they try to get custody, and she's going through that. I didn't know that till one day she started breaking that when she was, I forgot what she was doing. She was doing I forgot what exercise she was doing, but she started just crying. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the hell you crying for? I didn't make you do that much. Yeah, she stopped and she said, I'm just going through my daughter's father. And I said, what happened? And she we just sat there. I just stopped the session for the whole session. For a whole 40 minutes we talked.
Mm.
I said that's our session. And I started telling people on social media, like, as a trainer, when you see your clients mentally drained, you have to stop training
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them.
Wow.
You might not give the best advice, but you can give at least a good advice.
Mm-hmm.
But let them get that out of their chest. Because sometimes when people don't have nobody to talk to, that they hold it inside, and that could bother you.
Mm-hmm.
So she finally just got it out. She said she had no friends, she has nobody to talk to, and I was there. Who she talked to. So all my years, I think mentally, the mental is the most important thing when it comes to this fitness industry, because Lord have mercy, especially for trainers too.
Sure.
Because Lord, imagine you just talking different personalities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's ooh,
So the
it's a lot.
mind-body connection that we always hear so much about, that's not just a misnomer that people put out there so it sounds all wonderful and, spiritual. It's really something that you have found is essential to being able to achieve whatever physical goal you have. For instance, if we watch, a gymnast, Miss Biles, for instance, who's doing crazy things and does things with her body that, according to her age, people say she shouldn't be able to do. She has often spoken about the fact that it's how she gets her mindset on what she's going to do that allows her to do it. So, given that the name of the page is Black Fitness, right? And that most of the people focused on the page are Black folk, what do you find that reaction is on that mind body connection level when it comes to either choosing to believe that they have that power or offering excuses as to why I just can't do it? How do you react to that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I react to it.
It's not
I
his
really don't.
response.
And sometimes I really don't react to people on social media because
Hmm.
I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't react to people.
Well, even if it were a client and you are giving them this advice, and they are a client who said that they're going to come in there and do it. And then they start saying, well, I don't know. You're saying that I should be able to get it in my mind to do this, but I just can't do it. How would you respond to that client? Or would you not respond to them either? From what
No, I
I see.
respond to it, but I'm trying to think what I would say in that moment, because
Right.
I probably froze a little bit. Like, are they serious? But I probably like, what made you hire me? Then why are you really here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you really in tune with it, or you think that you just? Because some people hire training for a temporary reason,
Sure.
like I said.
Right. Right.
So they just say, "Oh, my friend got one. Let me get this train as well too."
Mm-hmm.
The next thing they not engaged. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
could tell by the workout they not engaged. It's like, well, I'll just follow what my friend did.
Mm. So fitness is not going to happen without the full agreement of the person who is seeking it. You are, and I don't mean this in any other way but the best way possible, you are a tool for them to
Yeah,
use to help them achieve their goal. But the onus for getting that goal achieved is completely on them. Is that right?
that's right. Like my grandmother said, "Hey, I could take a horse to the water, but I can't force it to drink it."
Yeah, yeah. So now, when you're dealing with these types of situations, excuse me, when you're dealing with these types of situations where you're constantly helping people to pursue their best, when you are sharing your own journey, again, you're an athlete, you said you got hurt. How did that steer you into wanting to continue a fitness journey where a lot of times we would suppose that people are focused upon maintaining their fitness primarily because it's part of their job. If you're an athlete, that's what you're supposed to be. But beyond that, how do you keep yourself motivated? I mean, you could stop right now and say, you know what? I'm good where I am. I don't have to really do much to maintain this. But why don't you do that?
Always have friends.
Mm.
That friends that's motivated.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
boy, my boy Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I come psychopath. No
Mm.
life, just gym,
No life, just Jim.
just gym. If he finished work, yo, I'm at the gym. Like, I'm surprised he ain't called me today. I'm at the gym. Like, You need that type of friend that's motivated. His goal is to I got squat 500.
Mm.
I might look him crazy like I ain't lifting something that's 5 times more than me, but he will push you. Like
Uh-huh.
he you need that person. Like I push him, we push each other. We everybody look at us crazy in the gym. We like brothers. We curse each other out.
Mm.
Motherfucker, get this. Stop playing. I don't hear that shit. Like, we just talk crazy. People look at us like, are they about to fight? That's how we talk to motivate each other. It might not sound correct to everybody, like, oh no, they
Sure.
talking reckless, but that's how we talk. That's how we motivate. Like he
Yeah.
helped me to deadlift 500.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would never think about lifting up 500. Well, I'm gonna lift in his wife, it's gonna be 500.
Mm-hmm.
But he helps. So you always need that person, that friend
Right.
that's that's motivated or a lot more motivated than you.
Isn't there a
So
possibility to listening to that makes me think that a lot of times there's I don't know if it was Will Smith or whoever. I've heard it, I don't know who said it about whoever the five people are who surround you in your life will help you define what type of life you're going to have, right? So if you have friends around you who are encouraging you to be healthy, to work out. I don't know about your friend. I don't know if we can be able to do it because I'm not going to go no life, just gym, but just saying. But that becomes part of the story, isn't it? Is that if you want a healthier lifestyle, find people who are like-minded so that you can always receive the encouragement because let's face it, you're saying you took off today because that's what you're doing and that's good, but a lot of people are just not going to always be able to find the impetus to want to get up and work out. And that's the day that you need a friend like yours that is going to remind you of why you're doing it. I have one, because, my best friend lives back in my hometown of St. Louis, but he will write me and say, "Did you work out today?" And I'll be like, getting ready to lie and say I did. But that's my reminder to get your ass up and go to the gym. So
Mhm.
that type of thing is true whether it's that person who is encouraging you, but it's also true that if you've got people who just want you to stay in the same sluggardly type of behaviors, let's go out to eat, let's go out to drink, let's just sit on our butts and do this. That's exactly what your life is going to look like. Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Correct.
for a person to escape that, there is again this going back to there is an individual switch or something, I guess we can call it, that has to be clicked that makes them say, "This is not the life I want to live anymore." And that's so often what I see out there on the page. Somebody woke up one day having lived their life like they lived it, and something clicked, and they thought, "I just don't want to live like this anymore." Is that what you find as well, Kevin?
Yes, that's it got somebody got to take a breaking point. That breaking point gets to tell you like I can't do this. I can't deal with this no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta. It's to that point. A lot of people do that. That's anybody, everybody. When I say I can't be 150 all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Let me gain more weight.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I can't be 250. Let me lose about 100 pounds. Let me try to get this off this way off of me.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes something like okay, I mean, or it had to take somebody that passed away. I know my uncle, when my grandmother passed away, he just had to change his lifestyle. He saw her went through, lost her lungs. I mean, not her lungs, her kidney.
Mm-hmm.
Did a slowful death, taking 15 pills a day,
Wow.
going to dialysis. Like you don't want to go through that. Who wants to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like he just like I can't deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
So he lost over 100 pounds for a year and a half. So he take care of himself. He take care of his body. Like it takes somebody else or somebody else's testimony to make them push them. So
Mm-hmm.
I always say learn from others. A wise man learn from others.
Right.
So
There's a saying that I remember from years ago, and I think it's stuck in my head because it was so simple, but it really puts you into the right mindset. And it said, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? What is your reaction to hearing that, given what you've just said?
yeah, I agree because if you not if you can't pick up a pack of water, that's telling about yourself. You can't pick it.
Were
Like
you
I told my
watching me
mother,
this morning?
huh?
I said, were you watching me this morning when I tried to pick up that pack of water?
Like I was laughing at my father. Even though this might sound bad, but this how relationship me my father had. My father got a hernia
Mm.
because he tried to lift an air conditioner, take it upstairs. Now he blame my mother and me. I don't live with y'all. How you gonna blame me? I ain't blame me. But he told me he's gonna, after he get the surgery, he's gonna change his lifestyle. Thank God. Even though he look good for his age, he's almost 70, still working, still doing landscape. But you try to act like you're still 30. You gotta take care of your body. I always tell him, you gotta stretch. I don't care. You gotta exercise, stretch, walk, do something.
Right.
Do something that's mobile. Stop trying to do all this young man stuff. You ain't young. So I just said, if you can't pick up an air conditioner, like I told my brother, if I had to help you to pick something up, that's telling about yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
That's telling you. I'm not saying you're supposed to lift something that's over 100 pounds. You can't pick something that's 50 pounds.
Right.
You can't work for a warehouse.
Right, right. So most of us get our warning signs one way or the other. We just tend to ignore them because, we know that they're, when I recently rejoined the gym and, I'm looking at a trainer there and, I haven't decided yet because I need someone who is going to be able to start early. I'm an early riser, so I'm not one of these people who can, I get up like between 2:30 and 3 in the morning. I am not going to be trying to go to the gym at 6, 7 o'clock because I go to bed at 8:30. So not going to happen.
Me. Ooh,
Yeah.
I thought that.
No, I'm really early. But the thing is that, when and if I do it, my statement to the trainer is going to be this: I can't do anything. I need help so I can do something. And that's where I'm going to start as my baseline. And that goes back, I think, Kevin, to where you and I were discussing knowing what your goals are and what your capabilities are, managing to mesh the two, and then building from there. I have no illusions about looking like you or looking like one of the Marvel Universe characters, but I do know that I can be better because I've been a hell of a lot worse. With that being said, on my side of the spectrum, as we are looking at people who will be listening to this and trying to figure out for themselves the best path to take, how would you encourage them to make that connection that helps them to flip that switch? And I know you gave a few examples here, but on a personal level, if you were 270 pounds today, right? And you know what you know, but you just hadn't put it in action. What would it take to hear from someone that may actually help you flip that switch, much like your friend does for you when you don't feel like working out, that would get you going today? Any idea of that?
It's hard because everybody has different ways to be motivated. So everybody, some people like to be criticized. So they're like, all right, I'm gonna prove this person.
Right.
Well, some people like to hear uplifting spiritual speakers telling them certain things. They like, okay, this could push me. Or they looking at a video of somebody working out, like, okay, I could do this. So it's different ways to answer that because a lot of people do get motivated in a different way. So
right.
Well, for some people, I always tell people, hey, look at somebody that look like you. I always say this because end of the day, they the ones that will remind you what your goal is.
Right.
So I always say just go by with somebody that look like you.
So for those who are in the New Jersey, New York area who may be looking to hire Kevin Morris, now that they've heard your wonderful perspective on health and fitness, tell us how we can find you, and also, of course, give the information on finding Black Fitness on Instagram.
Well, to find me, you could go to my personal page. Is I am Kevin Morris. My email is kevinmorrispt@gmail.com. You could contact me from Black Fitness on Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook, but I have a Facebook. So you go to Black Fitness Facebook, because Facebook for like old people. But anyway, what?
Wait a minute. Now you started something. That's okay. So primarily Instagram or your direct email would be great.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kevin, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. It's been inspiring. And I've got to tell you, I am so proud of what you've done in the space of Instagram and beyond. Because if you can find someone like me who is a little bit immune to a lot of what is out there in social media and keep my attention and the attention of all the other people who seem to be following that page and learning from it, you've done something. And my mama used to say, if you don't do anything but one thing right, sometimes that right is enough. And you've done
Yes.
that with this particular page. I
Mhm.
am going to encourage people to check out at Black Fitness on Instagram. If you are not a client of Kevin's, I'm going to encourage you to call him. And if you ever come to California, look me up. I'll have you do something while you're here. But I want to thank you for spending the time with me this morning. And I want to just express appreciation from everyone who is trying to get their bodies back to what they hope for them to be, or just, make them a little better than they currently are. The work you're doing is impressive and really makes a difference in a lot of lives. So thank you for that.
No, thank you for having me. I haven't done a podcast in a long time, and I thank you for allowing me to come on here and just talk.